Raven boys. It's the future Blue can't see. That's so Raven boys. So mysterious to Gansey.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yup, that's me. Hey YouTube, it's Zoe or Read by Zoe. I recently read The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater and I absolutely adored it. I read it before, 2 years ago, but I didn't love it the first time. I decided to give this book another go because I wanted to continue on with the series. It was so good. So I want to discuss it with you all today and gush about it. If you haven't read this book before and you don't know what it's about, this book follows two teenage main characters, Blue and Gansey. Blue lives in a house full of psychic women, including her mom, her aunts, her cousins, and some family friends, and all of them are legitimate psychics. They can actually read your future in tarot cards, and they all have other special skills. But Blue herself is not psychic. She only has one special skill, and that is to amplify energy to boost other people's psychic powers. Gansey, the other main character, comes from a very wealthy southern family and has spent the last couple years of his life, he's only like 16, 17, around there, but he spent the last couple years of his life obsessively searching for this dead Welsh king named Glendower, who, according to legend, is said to grant a favor or a wish to the person who wakes him up. Blue and Gansey's fates are intertwined when on St. Mark's Eve, a day where the spirits of those who will die in the next year walk past, Blue sees Gansey, so that means that he will die within the next year. Like I said before, Blue doesn't have any psychic powers of her own, so she usually doesn't see the dead when they walk past. But, as it says on the back, there are only two reasons a non-seer would see a spirit on St. Mark's Eve. Either you're his true love, or you killed him. Dun dun dun! So during this book, Blue teams up with Gansey and his friends Adam, Ronan, and Noah, and they search for Glendower together. Now I am pretty sure that synopsis left you way more confused than you were before. Saying it out loud, it does sound very convoluted, but I promise that once you start reading it, it'll all make sense. I absolutely loved this book. The first time I read it, I thought it was good, but I didn't feel this overwhelming need to pick up the next book like I felt this time. I think a big reason was that the first time I spent the whole time trying to understand how magic fit into this contemporary setting and trying to follow the search for Glendower rather than letting myself sit back and just enjoy the amazing world and characters that Maggie Stiefvater created. So if you've read this book before but you weren't in love with it, I would highly recommend giving it another shot. Maggie Stiefvater's writing style is so descriptive. I actually felt like I was in the town of Henrietta and that these characters were actual people. I could see them walking down the street searching for Glendower. They all had very distinct personalities and they were all so fleshed out. This is one of the most unique books that I have ever read. I almost forgot to give you my rating. I give it a 92% or an A- rating. Now onto the spoilery discussion of this book. If you haven't read this book yet, please do. First of all, please go read it, and then once you've read it, come back and then you can watch my discussion. Okay, spoiler time. I have a lot of things to discuss. I have a lot of feelings. So I'm going to divide this up by character. Of course, we're going to start with Blue, our quirky, independent, practical main character. I really liked at the beginning of this book where Maggie Stiefvater said that Blue was vain because she was carefully cultivating this trashy chic look. I felt like it was way more honest and believable than Blue just being effortlessly quirky and not like other girls. She was like other girls, and that's okay. It was just one line, but I really enjoyed it. I definitely think that there's something suspicious about Blue's father, or should I say Butternut. Moore is supposed to be this cool mom who treats Blue like an equal, but she's refused to say anything about who her father is, and then when he is mentioned, it's very sketchy. We know that he suddenly vanished, which probably has something to do with the ley line because everything has something to do with the ley line in this book. So I think he's a magical creature of some sort. He's definitely something. Therefore, Blue is something as well. I enjoyed how Blue had a relationship with Adam in this book. On the back of the book, it leads you to believe that it's going to be Blue and Gansey from the get-go. There's basically no mention of Adam. Yeah, it just says Adam, the scholarship student who resents the privilege around him. That's all it says. It does not say he has a little thing with Blue. So I was thrown off when they started to flirt. but I was pleasantly surprised. It made a lot of sense because at the beginning, Blue and Adam really meshed well. They were both outsiders to Gansey's world, and Adam was so sweet, but then the ending happened. We'll talk more about the ending later. But I foresee that the next book, The Dream Thieves, is going to be the beginning of Blue and Gansey's relationship. You already saw that in this book, their relationship developed a lot. They went from basically hating each other's guts to understanding each other more, especially when Gansey lets his guard down. She likes the real Gansey. And then we get that flash forward in the tree. I'm excited. Gansey time! First off, I am 100% convinced that Gansey is a Ravenclaw with all of his research, his meticulous research in the book, and I am so happy about that. Not just because I'm a Ravenclaw, but also it seems like we get no Ravenclaw characters, especially main characters, in young adult fiction. Gansey's personality in general was so unique and so well developed. He was raised by this very wealthy family, so he has a tendency to sound snobbish and kind of like a douchey frat bro at times, especially when it comes to money, and especially when it comes to wanting Adam to take his money. But you can see that he doesn't want to be this way. He hates that he comes off as insensitive sometimes, like when he basically called Blue a prostitute. Good times. I also realized that he never seems to focus on himself. He's either focusing on solving the quest and researching Glendower and all of that, or he's focused on the other boys. He's kind of like their father in a way. He's solving all of their problems, even when they don't want him to solve their problems. Adam. I know that Gansey is supposed to die in The Raven King because Blue saw his spirit, and that means he's going to die within the next year, and I'm guessing he's going to die in the last book. But what if there is a loophole? Just like how he died the first time, what if he gets stung by a wasp or a bee again, and then his heart temporarily stops, but because of either the ley line or Glendower or an EpiPen comes back to life, so he is temporarily dead? Or what if it's like Noah? He does die, but then his body is laid on the ley line, and then he gets to come back as a ghost, and then Blue can kiss him because she can't kill him if he's already dead, so she can kiss him. And can she kiss Noah? I mean, I don't think she would want to kiss Noah. I don't know. I don't want him to die. Now we're on to Adam. Adam. He was my favorite character at the beginning of this book, and I remember him being my favorite character the last time I read this book too. But now, not so much. The thing is, I don't trust him anymore. There is crazy character development in only a few hundred pages, and most of that character development is Adam's demise. I understand that Adam feels the need to earn everything that he gets because he grew up with this abusive father who basically said that Adam didn't earn anything himself. Well, why did he have to go and wake up the ley line himself? Why? Especially when Gansey has been researching this for years, so he knows the proper way to do these things. He could have died. What an idiot! To wake up the ley line, he sacrificed his freedom in the form of being the eyes and the hands for Cabe's water. I don't fully understand what that means, but I am positive that Adam is going down a very dark path, and I don't really want to witness that, but I know we're going to be forced to witness that. Then we have Ronan, who was the opposite of Adam in my eyes. I went from not liking or trusting him to liking and trusting him. Character development. He's described as this fierce, aggressive kid with tattoos and speeding tickets lining his walls. But then he goes and saves Gansey's life by killing that wasp. He takes care of the baby raven chainsaw, which by the way is the best name for a baby raven ever. And then he beats up Adam's dad at the end. I'm not usually a fan of violence, but that was very satisfying. We know that Ronan is something supernatural with the magical tattoo and being able to take things out of his dreams. So I'm positive that the next book is going to be all about Ronan. We're going to understand what he is because it's called The Dream Thieves. Thieves, plural. Is that what blue is? Are they frolicking in people's dreams? I don't know. Wait, never mind. Ronan has brothers. That's probably who the other thieves are. I thought I solved something there. I hope we get an explanation for Kella's line, "A secret killed your father and you know what it is," because I have no theories for that. What if it was Blue's father who killed Ronan's father? Or maybe, I don't know. What if Blue's father is Glendower? Oh, that would be a twist, alright. I'm just grasping at straws here. And finally, let's talk Noah. Like I said, I read this book once 2 years ago, so I remember the big twist with Noah being Woke's dead best friend Charity. I can't believe that I didn't catch that the first time. He literally says that he has been dead 7 years. Maggie Stiefvater messes with our expectations as readers, and I love that. We've been trained not to believe obvious clues like that because we always think that there's going to be a big twist at the end, and our minds are gonna be blown. But our minds were blown with the obvious clue. I mean, it's kind of like how magic works in this book. It's not hidden or anything like in Harry Potter. It's just blatantly out there for everyone to see. The psychics are doing business with average people. However, people consciously choose not to believe in it. Kind of like how I chose not to believe that Noah was dead or that Ronan actually took Chainsaw out of his dreams. It all comes full circle. Anyway, back to Noah's death. I remember that he was dead, but I completely forgot how brutal the events surrounding his death were. Well, his best friend killed him trying to wake the ley line, which didn't even work. And then he just left Noah to rot away for 7 years and didn't tell anyone, not even his family. That scene where they find his skeleton and his car and we realize that Noah is Charity, it made me tear up. It was so hard to read. I didn't know whether to be sad that he was dead or happy because he was still around and he made new friends who didn't kill him. By the way, I love his friendship with Blue and how because of her supernatural energy power, he feels more alive when he's around her. They're so sweet together. What if they do kiss? What if they end up together? What if that's the real OTP? It's the cutest. He's the cutest, and I really hope we get more of him in the next book. We don't really know much about him, either before or after his death. We just know that he's a ghost. That's his big personality trait. Oh, one more character that I want to quickly talk about is Neve. What the heck happened with Neve? Where is she? What happened? I also just want more of the psychics in general. I think they're all really interesting. I really love their dynamic, but I'm kind of still getting them confused with one another, especially Orla. I don't remember who Orla is. She might be a cousin. I'm so excited to get to the next books. So many of my questions are going to be answered. I have a lot of them. As you can tell in this video, it was mostly me just coming up with really dumb theories. So that is all I have to say about The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I have not started The Dream Thieves yet, so please, I beg of you, do not spoil anything about the next books. Also, while reading this book, I got really into fan casting the main characters because they felt so real to me. Also, because it's becoming a TV show. So let me know down in the comments who you envisioned as the main characters. I would love to know. I think it's so entertaining. Thank you all so much for watching, and keep an eye out for my review of The Dream Thieves coming soon to a subscription box near you. Bye!